Hey, good afternoon, Camp Reed. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Welcome to Critter Talk in Chapel. So glad you could join us today. We are going to get things started off first with Alpha.
Do I need my lapel mic if I have this mic? Okay, great. Hi, Camp. I'm gonna talk to you about a very funny creature called the pangolin today. You guys might not know what it is, but boy, do I have a funny video for you after I'm all done talking about this. So the pangolin is about as small as a cat, I would say, and it kind of looks like a rodent, but it has scales everywhere. It's the only mammal alive now that wasn't alive in the Jurassic period that has scales that still is a mammal. Sometimes referred to as a scaly anteater, but is not related to literally anything. It's not related to an anteater. It's not related to a sloth. It's not related to an armadillo. It's just kind of an enigma of an animal. They are critically endangered. They're the most trafficked animal around the world, specifically because their body fat, not their muscle, but their body fat is said to have healing properties. So if you eat their fat, then you're supposed to have very good health. There's 8 species of them. 4 live in Africa, 4 live in Asia. There's the black-bellied, white-bellied giant pangolin, Indian pangolin, Philippine pangolin, the Sudan pangolin, and the Chinese pangolin. And the giant pangolin can get right around as big as Atlas. So it comes up to like right here, which would kind of be terrifying. But scaly-skinned mammals, not reptiles. They give birth to live young. They feed their young with milk. They are furry. They are not a reptile. Pangolins, other than that, are basically an artichoke with legs. So if you take an artichoke and you put it on its side and you stuck 4 little toothpicks in it, that's basically what a pangolin looks like. They have little T-Rex hands that look like this, and they're bipedal, so they only walk on their hind legs, but they're so heavy that they have to hunch all the way over, so they kind of just walk like an old man. Their babies ride on their mom's back, kind of like a monkey, except since their mom's backs are scaly, they're also known for slipping off, and then the mom can launch them with their tail. So they've got to be really careful not to slide all the way down their mother's back and get flipped off on her tail. They protect themselves by rolling up into a really tight ball where they cover their neck kind of like you would if you saw a bear in the wild. But yet again, are not related to armadillos, which is kind of fascinating and also kind of terrifying. And that's basically it. We do have a video of a pangolin walking to describe how truly odd the way they walk is. But it's basically like this. How to get your claws out. Okay. It's very odd. It's like little, like a little hunchback. He walks around on 2 legs.
Sunsets.
They're very cute.
You look for a place to be so that you can sleep.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions about the pangolin? What?
Okay, so given how much they resemble pine cones,
Okay.
would you say it's reasonable enough to think that a pangolin might have accidentally fallen in love with a pine cone before, and then had the tragic moment of realization that it had fallen in love with a pine cone and not actually another pangolin?
Okay, so are we talking like, how big of a pine cone?
A sizable enough pine cone that it will resemble a moderate-sized pangolin.
Okay, so in a future where a pangolin cannot find another pangolin but can find a pine cone,
Yes.
that could happen. Also an artichoke.
Oh, or an artichoke.
Maybe a really, really, really pokey leaf. Okay, Raven?
I noticed that when they walk, they're able to. I noticed that when they walk in the video, they're able to lean really, really far forward, and their arms get really close to the ground, even. And I was wondering what it would look like if a human tried to do that.
So they would be like this, except they have a very long tail. and their little T-Rex hands just are like an inch away from the ground, but they have a much longer torso than I do, even though I have kind of a wiener dog body. So they would walk like this and kind of sway back and forth, but they wouldn't touch their forearms to the ground because they are bipedal, and that would make them quadrupedal if they were walking with their arms on the ground. Any other questions? Yes.
Just based on their T-Rex arms, who would win in a boxing match? A
Pangolin.
pangolin, sorry.
Excuse you.
Pangolin. I was using the plural.
Pangolin.
Pangolin. A pangolin, a T-Rex.
Shout out T-Rex.
Who would win in a boxing match? Because of their.
It's a T-Rex. A pangolin is this big versus a T-Rex, which is like as large as a building.
But it's a boxing match. They can't T-Rex can stomp on.
You don't want that chop block.
I don't know. I would think that the pangolin has much more agility than a T-Rex because they can curl up into a ball and roll away like that.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, what?
What do they like to eat?
Oh my goodness. Oh, our soundboard just kind of fell down again. They like to eat insects, like in Lion King 1.5, where Timon and Pumbaa rip open the log and there's all those really juicy looking bugs. They eat those. That's it.
Woo!
Thanks, Camp.
Sweet. Thanks for that awesome critter talk, Alpha. So I have chapel today, and I decided to do a quote from one of my favorite baseball players, Hank Aaron. He originally played for the Milwaukee Braves, and then went on later to play for the Atlanta Braves when they became the Atlanta Braves. And now he's like a vice president of the Atlanta Braves or something like that. He's really high up in their organization. So anyways, one of the things that he was known for was he was one of the best batters of all time. He actually shattered Babe Ruth's record for most home runs in a career. I think Hank Aaron might have had like 720 home runs in his career or something like that. Shattered Babe Ruth's record by a couple hundred, I believe. So his quote went, my motto was always to keep swinging. Whether I was in a slump or feeling badly or having trouble off the field, the only thing to do was keep swinging. And I really like this quote because to me, keep swinging. If you're having trouble doing something, or maybe it's something you don't want to do, something you have a hard time with, something that's taking you a long time to learn, there's nothing to do but to keep swinging and keep trying and keep pushing yourself, because eventually you'll get better at it and you'll get it. And maybe it's not even something that you don't want to do. Maybe it's something you love. But if you do find something you love, like the way Hank Aaron found baseball, and that was something he loved. But maybe for you, it's singing, maybe it's dancing, maybe it's fishing. It could be anything. If you find something you love, keep doing it and keep getting better at it, because that's how you'll be happiest, and that's a great way to live by. So that's chapel.
Hey, camp. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. It's Monday, July 6th, if you're keeping track. We're into that first full week of July. I've got some good news on the weather front. High of 82 today, and it's going to be that way all week long. So if you're a fan of sunscreen, maybe get some, get it on you, and get outside if you can. It's going to be high 70s, low 80s all week. Just a great week in the inland Northwest. Low of 57. We're losing a little bit of daylight, so the sun's setting just a little bit earlier. It's going to set at 8:49 tonight, and the moon's going to come up right about 9. So if you're going to stay up, maybe stay up and see it. The moon is, it's really beautiful right now. Let's see, on this day in history, I have 3 things for you today that are not related. Let's see, in 1785, the U.S. Congress unanimously resolved to name the U.S. currency the dollar. And then they adopted the decimal coinage system. So if you're wondering how we got to our money counting ways, that's what it was, 1785. And then in 2002, Let's see. At the Wimbledon Tennis Championship, Serena Williams, she beat her older sister Venus 7-6, 6-3 for her first Wimbledon singles title. It's normally tennis season, so there's a lot of tennis records that were set right around this day. If you're a tennis fan and you're missing it, maybe let us know who was your favorite matchup ever at Wimbledon. And then in 2016, Pokemon Go real world mobile game was first released. So did you catch one? Did you catch a Pokemon? Are you still catching Pokemon? Maybe. Let us know. Who's your favorite Pokemon? That's all I got. Back to you, Buster.
We're good? Oh, okay, cool. Hey, what was the only sport to have been played on the surface of the moon? What is the only sport to have been played on the surface of the moon? Post your answers in the comments, and we'll be sure to shout you out if you get it right. That concludes everything for Critter Talk in Chapel today. We should probably get an all right in. Does anyone have an all right? Oh, come on, man. All right. Yes, I do have an all right. Thought of this one very late last night, and it just kind of stuck with me. So it's gonna go. All right. Pokemon Go was really cool, and yeah. All right. Pokemon Go was really cool, and yeah. All right, to hit those all right stances. Let's see it. All right, in 3, 2, 1. All right.